Hi, welcome back. As you can tell from the title, we are here to discuss some Sephora savings event recommendations. Now, I'm going to trail through this quickly. I've posted several videos recently talking about a lot of these products that I'm going to mention. You know me, I'm a loyalist. Once I've found something that I like, I kind of stick with it for a long time. So if you don't see a fan favorite listed here, you can always go back and watch my previous videos. I just don't want to keep sounding like a broken record, and you're just going to see some features here that are currently like being heavily used in my collection right now. Of course, we're going to have some like classic staples, but yeah, I know you're going to be seeing these all over the place, and so I wanted to just give you a refresh of my current top tier. So I want to start out with some of my favorite skincare makeup hybrids. The first thing I have to talk about, if you guys do not jump on this, I'm going to be very disappointed because not only is it one of my current favorite lip products, it's a duo value set. So it's the InnBeauty Project Lip Glaze Duo, and it comes with two of my favorite lip glaze shades, which are Candy Apple and the Mystery Glaze. So the Mystery Glaze is definitely more of that like pH balancing color. I find that it just gives me a nice soft pink flush. You'll find that I wear this a lot in my videos, like as I'm doing my makeup. It's just a nice, nourishing, light pink color for the lips. And then Candy Apple is what I have on my lips right now. I am wearing it with a lip liner. I love keeping this in my purse because it's one of those products that I can A, apply without a mirror, and B, it gives me just a hint of color, makes my lips look super glossy, and then it's also very nourishing and hydrating. So I'm kind of like a chapstick fiend, and I have to have chapstick on me at all times. And there have been several times recently, like where I went to a concert or a sports event where you can't really bring in a bag. And so I don't want to carry around my chapstick. I don't want to have my ugly bare lips on display. So I always bring Candy Apple. It's just like my go-to because it gives me this nice, just soft red flush to my lips. Stunning. I love this formula. I mean, I have used this in 90% of my videos recently. Like you've seen a lip glaze. So this would be number one pick for me right now. 25 bucks. You can't really beat it. So two of my current skincare favorites from InnBeauty Project as well right now are the face glaze. This is what I use again in like 90% of my videos to prep my skin, and also just in my daily routine when I'm not filming. This is what I use. I used this recently in my delicate makeup video where I talked about how I love just wearing this with a little bit of concealer. It gives such a beautiful glowing skin-like finish. So this is definitely a top pick. It also has a ton of skincare benefits in it. I've talked about this for like 2 years straight. It's InnBeauty Project's new Bright and Tight eye cream. I think it's sold out like twice now. At the time of filming this, it is in stock on Sephora. This is a vitamin C and peptide infused eye cream. It does have a little bit of that skin tone tint to it, a little bit of a warm tint to help balance out any blue underneath the eyes. It just gives you a little bit of a refreshed look. I can even just pop a touch like on top of my makeup, and it absorbs so quickly, and it gives you just a super soft, bright finish. I'm loving it. It has been my daily eye cream, and yeah, it keeps selling out. And I have to say, for a good reason. It's very lightweight. It gives you that brightened effect while also delivering all of those skincare benefits. Yeah, those are kind of like my three skincare makeup hybrids that I use on the daily, on the regular. And yeah, that lip glaze duo, like you will not regret it. Okay, I'm about to quickly scan through my foundation selections. Number one, because I just did an unbeatable top 5 foundation recommendations video where 2 of these products were in that video. So if you want to see them more in action, see me talk about them a little bit more, they were in that video. And then the rest are ones that I have just talked about so frequently. I just feel like it's ingrained in everyone's mind. So the first two are the obvious contenders, Armani Luminous Silk and Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer. These were my first two talked about foundations in my top 5 unbeatable, and I truly think both of these formulas are totally unbeatable. Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer is what I wear every single day, like almost every single day. This is my go-to, great for all skin types. Longevity, it just has it all. It checks off all of the boxes. Luminous Silk, I think, great multi-purpose option as well. It can do it all. It can do sheer, it can do medium full, and it just looks luxury stunning on the skin. A couple of skin tint options I hear are Shiseido Synchro Skin and Summer Friday Skin Tint. If you have dry skin and you want something that feels really hydrating and nourishing, I would highly recommend the Summer Fridays. This feels very relieving on my skin. It's actually what I'm wearing currently. And I do have another foundation I'm going to talk about in just a second, kind of on top of it, layered on top, but this is what I'm wearing primary as my base right now. If you need a skin tint that has a little bit more coverage and that is more appropriate for all skin types, even if you are combo oily, Shiseido Synchro Skin, this has more of a satin finish. You're definitely going to get a light medium coverage with it. And it's just a beautiful, well thought out skin tint, also highly underrated. Did it sound like I said tit? And then finally, let's run through some stick foundation options. Of course, we have to have a good stick foundation thrown in here. I have two, Westman Atelier Vital Skin and Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick. Both of these beautiful. I am wearing the Merit one as a concealer today. It was designed to be used as a foundation or a concealer. It's great for travel. Also great if you're someone who applies makeup on the go. Like if you're that person literally in your car, first of all, shame on you. Like when I see people doing like their mascara like at a red light, like while they're driving, I'm like, girl, at this point, it is not gonna look your best. So I would just wait. Like I would wait till you have a bathroom break and then hit it up and refresh, rethink this. Anyways, if you're in a cab, if you're in a plane, if you just have a quick moment to like throw on makeup, this is the one for you. I love it. And it looks good even if you need to reapply throughout the day. Vital Stick Foundation, this is a little bit larger. I wouldn't say it's as travel friendly, but definitely, you know, like it's not too bulky. You are definitely going to get more coverage with Vital Stick. So if you need more coverage, if you need extra coverage, I would go with Vital Stick. I would describe this as being kind of like a satin luminous finish. Like it's got this like satin texture to it, but it does give off a bit of luminosity. And I think that it looks beautiful. It's one of those products, again, I would label as having like that luxury look. And I've been a fan of this ever since I tried it. So on the go people, Merit Complexion and Westman Atelier Vital Stick. 3 concealer recommendations happening here. The first being an accommodating concealer to a foundation I already mentioned, Armani Luminous Silk. This pairs beautifully with the Armani Luminous Silk foundation, but also with any other product that you use it with. If you use it with a skin tint, with another foundation, it always looks good. It has a nice medium coverage to it. It's very hydrating, very blendable and very skin-like. So this is one that I would hands down recommend. Also, I do like using this as foundation sometimes because it does give a good amount of coverage. Kosas Revealer, I again love this because it is such a high performing concealer, medium full coverage with this guy right here. Like you get a significant amount of coverage. Again, it's one that I'll sometimes just use with nothing else because it does give a great amount of coverage. I also forgot to mention Kosas Revealer Foundation. Also, hands down, would be a foundation recommendation from me because that kind of gets me through when my skin's having really bad eczema flare-ups. It gives medium to full coverage, but it has this like nourishing, hydrating feel to it. So it's very comfortable, and this concealer has a similar formula as well. It's very rich, it's very emollient, it blends out easy, and it has a significant amount of coverage. So these two, hands down, if you want coverage, if you want that beautiful skin-like appearance, these two would be my pick. Now, Glossier is at Sephora now, and I have to admit that I have been back on my Glossier stretch game. Do we all remember Glossier stretch concealer? Especially as we are nearing into spring, summer. This is a very hydrating, balmy concealer. You get light coverage with it. So let's say you wear something like the Summer Friday Skin Tint. This would pair perfectly with it and give you just a touch more coverage. Like, you are not going to get, you know, like anywhere near the amount of coverage of the two concealers that I just mentioned. But if you have, let's say, like a little bit of darkness you want to conceal, maybe a small blemish, this is a great concealer for that. And I would really just specifically recommend this for normal to dry skin. I don't find that combo oily would really love this formula because it is very glowy and it is very emollient. So I could see oils breaking through it very quickly. But I wanted to reintroduce this because I've been enjoying it with my dry skin, and it's just a nice daily wear concealer product. Okay, two powders to talk about, and no, one of them does not include Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush, which is like the only powder I've talked about, I think, in like the past 6 Sephora sale videos. I had to move on from that and use up some other powders in my collection, and these were two that I just decided, you know, one of them is in my project pan, and that's the Rare Beauty. And surprisingly, I've really fallen in love with this. I love this formula. It's very smoothing on the skin. It does mattify, but it kind of like sets in with your skin and almost becomes like a little bit more skin-like the longer that you wear it, so you don't stay flat throughout the day. And then the second one is Estee Lauder Double Wear Press Powder. So I've actually been using this like over my skin tints and things that have lighter coverage. I'm wearing it today over my Summer Fridays, and that's what's giving me a little bit more coverage. And I've really been enjoying using it that way. I thought I was going to use this as a powder foundation because double wear, you know, generally has like a higher coverage payoff. And I didn't find that this one had that or had enough to be worn as a powder foundation. I kind of just felt like it looked best as almost like a setting powder. Maybe I haven't played around with it long enough, but I've had it for several months and I just find I like using it on top of lighter coverage products. It just gives like a little bit more of that smoothing effect. And you can tell, like, I applied quite a bit in the demo and there's still, you know, some like shine coming through. So I've really been enjoying this powder and wanted to throw it in because I think it's multi-purpose. You definitely could use it as a powder foundation. I am just used to formulas that definitely have a lot of coverage, and this to me has more of that setting powder vibe. Two bronzers I've been loving recently, both for different reasons and different applications. The Tower28 Sculptino and also the Milk Makeup. This is the bronzer formula, but I've also really been loving the new Sculpt formulas that they came out with, which are just cooler toned versions of their bronzers. I've been using, I think it's the shade, I think I've been using Baked maybe in the sculpting line or the cooler tone line. But I have the shade Blaze here today, which is what I have on my skin currently. But I did demo both of these. They're just really beautiful cream products that blend super nicely. They blend very easily into the skin. Now, if you are someone who likes a little bit more coverage, I would go for the Milk Makeup because it does have a bit more pigment in it. If you're someone that's wearing more of the skin tints or tinted moisturizers, I would recommend the Tower28 just because it is a little bit less pigmented and I find that it just works better with those lighter coverage products. I'm just really fond of Milk and Tower both, and I think they just kind of embody like spring summer vibes. Also travel friendly, like really sleek. This is a little baby. Like, these are so tiny now, which some people like, some people don't. I get it. Like, they are in the 20 range, but let me see, what's the like ounces on this? 5.7 grams and then 4. Oh, so there's actually more in this Milk Makeup one than there is in the Tower 28. The Tower 28 has 4.5 grams and the Milk Makeup has 5.7. So what do you know about that? What do you know about that? Look, this little guy right here packs a punch. I've got a lot of blushes to talk about. The first two I'm going to talk about are both from Kaja, two different formulas. So this is their Cheeky Stamp blush, which I talk about frequently. And I'm about to have to toss this one because I think I'm pretty much like out of it. This one's in the shade Koi. And they have some lovely options to choose from. I think I'll definitely pick up another one during the sale. They have a really nice like mauve tone one that I want to look into. But this is just like fresh, youthful cheeks in a blush formula. It's almost like a serum blush formula, and it just looks so bouncy and healthy on the skin. I've talked about these for ages now. I don't like the bulky packaging because I never use, it actually comes with like a little stamper, as you can tell. Like I've never even used this. But I love the formula in the bottom. So that's the first one. And then they just released these new jelly lip and cheek stains. I do have a little bit of this on underneath, but I'm wearing it also as a blush. And this is a really interesting formula. It's very dewy, it's multi-purpose, and it stains, but it looks glossy on, if that makes sense. It kind of does remind me a little bit of the e.l.f. glossy lip stains, but a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more glossy. So these are really fun. As you can see, they have a little charm on them, and I talk about how I feel like often Kaja is looked over because of this like playful packaging. Kind of sometimes does give off like adolescent vibes. But look, it's like a little heart with glitter in it. I mean, it's fun. Whatever. Their formulas are phenomenal. I love their formulas. So this is a fun thing to look into. They have some nice shades, and everyone has been raving about these on TikTok, by the way. So if you're not on TikTok, people love these on TikTok. Okay, a few more blushes to roll back into. No surprise here. Merit Flush Bombs, still very much a favorite of mine. I love the new shades that they've come out with. I think their classic shades are just as pretty. I feel like if you buy the Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick, it's just a given that you have to get a Flush Bomb to go with it because they pair so well together. And there are, like I said, several really nice, just natural everyday colors. So Flush Bombs, kind of always on the list. I wanted to reintroduce a fan favorite for the past couple years, but I feel like they've been, you know, dying down a little bit, not as hyped up as much. But I have to say, I love these. Every time I wear them, I just feel like my cheeks look stunning. And it's the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Blush Wands, light ones. I haven't tried the matte ones. I need to, maybe I'll pick one of those up if they're in stock. I don't know why. Normally I'm on top of my Charlotte game, but I haven't been lately. However, Peachgasm and Pinkgasm, I wear these all the time, and especially if you want like the really blushy look and also highlighted look, but you don't want to go through all of the steps. These, because you get immediate shine with these, and you get a really gorgeous color with both the peach and the pink. Yeah, they're stunning, and I would 10 out of 10 recommend. Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blushes. I think these are highly underrated. They're very like serum-like, hydrating feel. They blend well with all different types of bases, and they come in some really beautiful colors. They are very pigmented as well. So a little goes a long way on these. It doesn't look like it's a ton of product. It's your standard 0.5 fluid ounces, but they pack a punch. They have quite a bit of pigment, and I pull these out a lot in the summertime because they just have that nice glowing, like hydrating feel to them. So yeah, I mean, I love them. I think they're a great, beautiful formula. Okay, Westman Atelier Bonne Brow. Other than my Gen C Arch Support Brow Gel, which Sephora does not carry, This is like the only other brow product that I use or that I keep at my office. And I'm not a big brow pencil person, especially when they're kind of chunky like this. But this is a really well thought out and formulated product. It's very waxy. So when you apply it, it almost instantly like holds your brows into place. And it comes with a little spoolie on the end. There's nothing in this. There's no like brow gel, which I thought was stupid at first. I was really disappointed that there wasn't a brow gel, but you really don't need it because the pencil is so waxy that it adds that almost like gel texture to the brows, and then you just use this to kind of get them in place how you want them. Yeah, I love this brow product. I think it's very interesting, very innovative. I love the waxy texture, and it just, I mean, I get a pretty like even application every single time that I use it. So kudos to Westman. This is a good brow product. For eyes, I of course have my little Kaja Beauty Bento stacks. I own several of these. I may possibly own all of them because I love them that much. And other than my cream shadow sticks, which of course, like, I don't even feel the need to mention anymore because it's very apparent that I don't really use anything other than cream shadow sticks and these. Like, I'm not joking. I don't know if I use anything else. But these are lovely. They're just gems. I think everyone should have at least one of these in their collection. The shade that I'm wearing today is this one right here. It is called Spiked Ginger. And normally what you will see in the Kaja lineup is the top is either going to be a matte or really reflective high shine pigment. Middle, in some of them, it's like this nice little shimmery action that we have happening here. Most of the time, the middle one is some type of shimmer. And then the bottom is usually a matte shade. So that's what you see with the Spiked Ginger here. Sometimes they switch it up, but you have every single thing you need to create an entire like stunning eye look. And the color combinations in these are just so good. Like really innovative color combinations, really pretty tones that you don't see that often. And then they do have some super neutral palettes. I think I have a clip here where I did a makeup look recently just using, they do have a couple that are just all matte, which are really pretty and smooth, and they make your eye look like just ultra soft and like soft focused, I guess. I love these. And I got an email the other day that Kaja was coming out with a couple of new shades in these palettes. So I'm really excited to try those. But yeah, I don't really use eyeshadow palettes. I use these, and they're fun and they're easy to travel with. And the formula's stunning, like amazing blendability with these. Two mascaras that I have been just straight up loyal to, one a little bit longer than the other, which is Tarte Surfer Curl. I think like this almost feels empty, and I feel like I just went through my last one not that long ago. But that just shows you how often I use this. I love this formula. Something that I've discovered is I think I like mascaras that maybe aren't the most popular, because when I've talked about this in the past, I have seen several people say like, this is like a really low rated mascara on Sephora. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It works so good on my lashes. I have just like straight average lashes, and it gives me volume. It gives me a little bit of curl. I just love it. I think it works really well. If you like traditional brush mascaras, not like a silicone or rubber, this is definitely a traditional brush, and a little bit of a drier formula, this one's for you. And then the second is the Tower28 Make Waves mascara. This is what I'm wearing today. This one's a little bit more dramatic. You can definitely build this one up. I did have to let it kind of dry out a bit before it really favored my lashes. This one does have more of that rubber style bristle brush, but you can build this up really, really well, and it gives kind of everything: length, volume, separation. It's a really nice formula, and I've been alternating these two. They're the two that I would recommend. Okay, for lips, I don't really know what to tell you because I literally wear the InnBeauty Project lip glazes every single day, or the Merit Glossy Lip Oils. Now, Merit has a new formula that I'm excited to try. It's the same lip oils, but they're called gelies. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what the difference is. I think they're supposed to be a little bit more sheer. But I love wearing my lip oils with the Sephora Rouge Gel Collection lip liners, which again, the only lip liners that I wear are these and Charlotte Tilbury, like pretty much consistently for the past like 3 years. So the shade that I'm wearing on my lips today is Rosewood. It's one of my favorites. I also love Dress to the 90s, Creme de la Creme, and then I have one called Mesquite that is very fun. These are just really creamy, gel-like textured lip liners at a very good price. During the sale, most of the time they're 30% off. If you're a Rouge member, I can't remember how they do the actual sale when it comes to the Sephora collection stuff, but most of the time it's like 30% off. And yeah, I love these. I've been using them for several years, and I think that they are just lovely lip pencils at a really great price point, and they come in a ton of shades. So yeah, that's like all I wear on my lips now. It's a lip oil and a lip liner, and then I'm good to go. I wanted to bring your attention to a few brushes really quickly because I get asked about these brushes almost every single time that I use them in videos, and I'm really bad about linking my brushes. But the first is the Merit #1 brush. This is their standard brush. I don't think they've come out with any more yet. But this has been a favorite of mine for several years. Ever since I started using Merit, I got this brush, and yeah, it's consistently stayed with me. I love the shape. It's multi-purpose. I can do an entire face of makeup with this. So this is one that I would 10 out of 10 recommend. Saie Beauty just launched also a similar brush. I mean, they're not identical. This one's fluffy. It's not as dense. And it was designed for their new foundation, but I've been using it with other foundations, and I love kind of the lightness of it. It's not as dense, and so I feel like it gives a little bit more of a diffused look. So I've really been loving that one. And then also this powder brush from Saie. I love brushes that have the bulb shape because they just fit perfectly on the under eye area and just for like stamping products. Yeah, this has been a favorite of mine as well. So these three brushes, really great multi-purpose. Yeah, if you're someone that wants to condense down your brush collection and find something that can do it all, these two are really good contenders. Okay, I don't often talk about fragrance, but since Glossier is at Sephora, I had to just throw in a couple. Of course, Glossier You. If you've never tried this, I'm gonna have to reorder because you can see mine's almost gone. Normally a bottle of this lasts me like almost the entire year because it is pretty fragrant. And when I say it is one of those perfumes that every single time I'm out, someone asks me what I'm wearing, this right here. And it's just so like hard to describe. It's really funny because I feel like people either love or hate this, but when I'm out and about, people are loving it. Like, I'm not joking. I get asked all the time. This one, and then Le Labo, which this is irrelevant. Sephora does not sell Le Labo, but Le Labo Another 13, hands down, all the time. Every single time I go out, I get asked about it. But it's very hard to describe this. And me and Kaki were, Kaki Reviews Beauty, we were talking about this scent not too long ago. She's not a fan of it. I feel like people either love it or hate it. And it's really sad because I cannot describe this scent to you. Like, I just can't. I cannot put my finger on what it is. Kudos to Emily Weiss for concocting this formulation because I cannot put my finger on it. It is just so incredibly unique, and it does smell differently on everyone, which is why it's called You. If you don't want to take the plunge on this, they have a freaking roller ball available now. And I say that because Glossier never offered a roller ball in the You fragrance. I would have loved that back in the day when I was like, you know, trying to decide if I wanted to take the plunge. I would have loved a little roller ball selection. So if you're not sure on this and you don't want to take the plunge, they had a roller ball available on Sephora if it doesn't sell out. My second option here is the Fleur Missing Person. I saw a review on this where someone was really pissed that it was called Missing Person because I guess it could be taken like almost in like a derogatory way, where like it's talking about actual like missing person, someone that has not been found. Anyways, people had to clarify, no, it's supposed to be like missing person, like you're missing someone, like this nostalgic smell. And another one, I literally cannot put my finger on this. Sometimes I think it smells like a freshly opened like notebook with this soft skin like musk scent to it. And yeah, I'm blank. I'm blank. So my description, you know, if you want to go off my description as if you opened a piece of paper and it smells like soft musk. That's all I got. But it's interesting when I smell it, it does remind me of people that I miss. And I don't know if that's like clever marketing with like the name on this, but I'm a fan of this. I was at Nordstrom not too long ago, and Will was trying to pick out a new cologne, talking with the men's cologne salesman, and me and him were vibing. Like we were vibing on a level, like talking about all of our favorite fragrances. Will was like, I don't know what y'all are talking about, but it looks like we're gonna be here a long time. And he introduced me to a scent that I am hands down purchasing during the Sephora sale. It's Jo Malone, Cypress, and Grapevine. Yeah, this man was like, "Oh, honey, you have got to smell of this. If you like this, and this, smell this Jo Malone one." Smelled it. Literally was pissed that Will did not pick it because it was very unisex. And when we left and I had it lingering like on my skin, all I could do was like just smell my arm. And I was like so mad that he went with basic ass Chanel Blue, number 5. What is it? Anyways, I really wanted him to get the Jo Malone, and he didn't. But I'm getting it for myself during the Sephora sale. I think where I was going with that story is that the Nordstrom sales rep, we were talking about this missing person scent, and he was like, you know, I smelled of it and it just didn't smell like anything to me. And I was like, man, you gotta like give it another try. Nostalgia. It is just nostalgia in a bottle, and I can't put my finger on it, but I love it. I would recommend if you don't want to take the plunge. They also normally have a little mini mister or roller ball you can get. Okay, we are finally done. That is all of my recommendations. I think I talked about everything that was important that I needed to. I will, as usual, link all of my cream eyeshadow stick swatch videos down below because I know a lot of you like to pick up refills or new colors in cream shadow sticks and Bobbi Brown and Laura Mercier. I do have full swatch videos of those cream shadow sticks, which I always link in the sell videos, but I'm just like, I can't talk about them anymore. I can't keep like swatching them, you know, I have hundreds at this point. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the recommendations, and I may do a bonus what I'm picking up during the Sephora sale. Let me know if that's something you might be interested in seeing, where I just kind of like go through and talk about my basket and why, you know, it's in my basket, why I'm intrigued by it. And I thought that if it's something you already own, you could give feedback on. So yeah, let me know if you want to see that as well. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.